Okay, all right, I think we're all in. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are never a dull moment, and we just wanted to start actually with a notification that currently the statewide 911 system is down. And calls are not going through. We've been in touch with the state and with all the relevant officials to work on getting this resolved, but in the meantime, obviously there are a number of bits of information that we want to make sure the public has, and so while we have everyone here, we did want to just pass it on to our first responders in each of the agencies to share what our residents should do in the meantime. There's lots of information out there, but we need to be covering this outage in the 911 system first. So Commissioner Cox?
Thank you. As the mayor just briefly said, currently we're having some temporary issues with the 911 system, but we want to just provide the public some information in regards to how to contact us if they need to. Currently, if you go to our bpd.news site, there's a list of all our district stations on there. The public in the local district station where they live can call those numbers and actually call the local police department if you need police services. In addition, if you're having any issues, medical related or EMS or fire related, you can go and pull your local call box. That's the red light boxes that the fire department has in local streets and corners to also get medical attention that way. This could be very temporary, and we're waiting to hear a little later about how long it would last, but we thought it was important, particularly with the heat that we're about to experience, to make sure that we give people the opportunity to know what's going on in regards to the 911 system. So I'm going to have EMS and fire just reiterate ways that you can contact them directly.
Good afternoon. Thank you. In order to get the Boston Fire Department today, I would start by calling the number 617-343-2880. Your second choice would be to pull a firebox on any street corner with the red light, as the commissioner said. And then your third option would be go into a firehouse. Those three options will work today. That number works. I just tried it. So that would be your emergency contact for today to get the fire department. If the issue is medical or fire, we will respond.
Good afternoon, folks. Similarly for Boston, we're co-located in the 911 Center along with Boston. We're linked to Boston Fire. We have a couple of administrative lines, 617-343-1400. Normally, again, we use that for administrative purposes. However, that'll hunt over to a couple available operators. We're all located in the same thing, so we have the possibility of entering a call there as well. So 617-343-1400. And the beauty of the system in Boston is police, fire, EMS, we share the same CAD system. That's working fine. So any information that gets entered by any of the agencies, or somebody contacts fire, police, or EMS, and we need the services of the other agency, we send each other a message, we talk on radios, and we bail each other out. So as long as it gets in the system, we'll be able to connect to the right service. Thank you.
Thank you all. So again, just to reiterate for our residents, if you are experiencing an emergency, if you find your way to police, fire, or EMS, we will make sure that you get to the right place. So don't worry about needing to have the exact right number or anything as this is getting resolved, hopefully very quickly. There are multiple places on the police website. You can find the phone numbers for all of the district stations, and those will be available also on social media. So please help spread the word in this momentary period. Okay, so back to the topic at hand and the excitement that we all have to be celebrating one more accomplishment for our incredible City of Champions. We are so excited to be here and to share a little bit about the public safety preparations that are going into this Friday's celebration. As you already heard, I'm here with Fire Commissioner Paul Burke, Police Commissioner Michael Cox, EMS Chief Jim Hooley. We're also joined by our Chief of Streets, Yasha Franklin Hodge, and our relatively new Chief of Emergency Preparedness, Adrian Jordan. I also want to thank our partners at the state level for being here as well, MBTA General Manager Phil Eng, MBTA Police Chief Ken Green, and I believe is MBTA COO may be in the house, Ryan Cohalan as well. And then, of course, we are thrilled to be here with Rich Gotham, president of our 2024 NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. So first, just such a heartfelt congratulations and thank you to this incredible team and organization. It's not just seeing history being made with Banner 18, an unprecedented record now across the entire league and across all time. But as a mom, it's been extremely meaningful for me to watch with my two boys how this team has gone about achieving this accomplishment. The day-to-day, throughout the entire season, the teamwork, resilience, character that they've demonstrated in supporting each other, coming together game after game, but also really meaningfully off the court. We know these players in our city because they've come with us to visit Boston Public School students. They've visited patients in our children's hospitals and other healthcare sites around the city. They've just shown up in public parks across the city to provide their support and show up for young basketball players who are growing up and get the chance to meet their heroes. They have been absolutely fantastic community partners, and I really want to thank the Celtics organization for all you do in the community as well. And I will say one other thing that has been an incredible example for my sons. I told them about the day that we went to New Mission High School with Jason Tatum. It was October of earlier in this school year, and he answered questions from all of the incredibly excited high school students. He shared about his own life journey. And then he pledged that day that the team was going to bring back a championship to this city this season. And so they are also a team of their word. And so we're very grateful and thankful for that. So today we're here to talk about a simple fact and process that we have here in Boston. Win a championship, we throw you a parade. So on behalf of the city, thank you again to the Boston Celtics for completing step one for the 18th time in franchise history. So now we're on to step two. This Friday, June 21st, we will be celebrating the Boston Celtics with a rolling rally duck boat parade, starting at 11 a.m. The parade will begin at TD Garden on Causeway Street, run past City Hall Plaza on Cambridge Street, and then along the Boston Common on Tremont Street, before coming to an end on Boylston Street at the Heinz Convention Center. There are a lot of logistics that will go into this. So parking on certain city streets in the West End, downtown, and Back Bay will be prohibited starting just after midnight on Friday morning. And streets along the route will be shut down to vehicular traffic starting at 9 a.m. on Friday morning. You can find a full list of the streets that will be closed or impacted by parking restrictions at boston.gov/Celtics. I know the general manager and Chief Green will share more about this, but since we are expecting a lot of visitors and a lot of participation at this parade, we are very excited and thankful that the MBTA will be increasing service on all of their transit lines, and we want to double down on the encouragement to make use of public transportation as much as possible. We are also encouraging everyone to celebrate safely and look out for each other. Although the weather will cool off slightly by Friday, this is our first heat wave of the year, and we are expecting temperatures in the mid to high 90s through Thursday. Yesterday, Boston declared a heat emergency, and we know that the effects of extreme heat can be cumulative, so we continue to encourage everyone to stay hydrated, use sunscreen, stay indoors wherever possible. Please check on your neighbors so that everyone can prevent dehydration and heat stroke and other health challenges. Now we have a number of other speakers who will go over many more of the details, but thank you again to our entire city for all the excitement around this amazing team, and thank you, of course, to the Boston Celtics. So next up will be Police Commissioner Michael Cox, followed by Commissioner Burke of the Fire Department, EMS Chief Hooley, Chief of Emergency Preparedness Chief Jordan, Chief Franklin Hodge of our Streets Cabinet, and then General Manager Eng of the MBTA, Chief Green of the MBTA, and then Rich Gotham.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to start out by, congratulations to Celtics for their 18th banner. long deserved. But I also want to make sure we thank our state police partners and our NIMLIC partners and some of the other public safety partners beside the Boston Police that have helped deal with the celebration last night. It takes a lot of work and coordination to deal with the crowds, and our partners did a great job in helping us do that. And they will also help us in this year's rolling rally coming up that we wanted to talk about here today. So we want to remind folks, again, the mayor's already mentioned it, dress for the weather. It should be warm. We'll remind people, whether you're a resident or coming in to visit the city, there's no public drinking or use of marijuana out there on the route in any way. Any disruptive behavior, fighting, things of that nature will not be tolerated. So let's remember that this is a family-friendly event, and we expect everyone to act accordingly. That being said, I also want to remind folks that I know sometimes people want a vantage point to be able to see things, but do not climb on mailboxes, light poles, signs, things of that nature. It's dangerous both to you and the other people that are there nearby. But it's important that we reiterate that. If we see it, we will ask you to come down. If you don't come down, then you may be arrested. There's a large number of street closures in the city, as the mayor mentioned before. Limited parking along the route will be there. So the fact is that if you can take the T in, please do so. If you can't take the T in, expect significant delays in traffic that day. There will be multiple security measures, including prohibited items that we ask people not to bring along the route. And I talked about a couple of them earlier. No alcohol, no knives. Refrain from using drones in the area, and certainly no fireworks and things of that nature. Lastly, all those attending the parade, please be aware of your surroundings in general. If you see something that looks suspicious or something that you think that is just not right, please say something by dialing 911, which I'm sure will be back on line by then, and to certainly let us know. And of course, we'll have uniformed officers throughout the route, both in uniform and plain clothes, to make sure that we are trying to keep the public safe. So this is a championship city again, and I'm sure our crowds will continue to do all they can to show that Boston's the best in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to the Celtics also. The Boston Fire Department will have extra staffing on for this parade. Because the nature of a parade, we can't get fire trucks to the parade, so we will have fire trucks stationed on both sides of the parade. We'll have firefighters walking the route with first aid kits working in conjunction with Boston EMS, and we'll be supervising at the police headquarters to keep an eye on anything. Business goes on for us every day, so there will be emergencies. We just want to make sure that we can get to them, so that's why we're stationing apparatus on both sides of the parade. But we'll be ready, and we want everybody to have a good time and a safe time.
Thank you. And our congratulations to the Boston Celtics as well. And glad they wrapped it up last night. We didn't want any more strings of that going on. Hey, anyway, but as we celebrate, not just this Friday, but anytime, remember to celebrate responsibly. The best way to do that is to look out for one another, make sure your friends and the people around you are okay. Be a good wingman, wingwoman, good friend. If your friend's doing something silly, try to dissuade them. A lot of trips, whether it's New Year's or it's anything, a lot of visits to emergency rooms can be avoided by just some common sense. So just try to practice that as well. As the Commissioner was saying, don't try not to be scaling heights to get a better view, because that's also a recipe for problems. We're going to be staffing up, as the Fire Commissioner said. We're going to be staffing up. We're going to have extensive Boston EMS coverage along the parade route while maintaining EMS coverage citywide, which is always our #1 priority. Ambulances, EMTs, and paramedics on bicycles, on motorized carts, in aid stations, and on foot teams with stretchers to be able to go out in the crowd, extract, bring people, evaluate them if need be. Remember, again, no public drinking, and alcohol in the hot sun is tough for anybody. One of the things we're concerned about is the heat in general for anybody, especially if we're getting into several days of this. Stay hydrated. If you do feel dizzy or nauseous, sweating, muscle aches, try to get to some place where there's some shade, where there's some cooling or the ability to get some cooling. If you don't feel better, then seek some medical care. There'll be plenty of EMS, police, and first responders all along the route, so just flag somebody down if you or your friends need any assistance. Remember, these next few days, we're going to be in heat emergency, so remember to keep an eye on your friends and neighbors. We have some hot days ahead of us, and we want to make sure that you take care of each other, and we're all making it through this week okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Adrian Jordan, newly appointed Chief of Office of Emergency Preparedness. So a couple of things about, well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to the Celtics. And better yet, even doing it on 6/17, that marks a historic event. I wanted to thank you for the year. A couple of OEM actions during the parade. The Op Center will be operated to monitor the parade on Friday and also to facilitate any citywide coordination that's needed during the event. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be staffing some mist-in centers and mist-in tents with the help of the Boston Fire Cadet Program. I wanted to say thanks to Commissioner Burke for allowing us to use the cadets in such a great way to help us facilitate those tents and the mist-in centers. One's going to be located at the City Hall Plaza, and the other is going to be at the Boston Common to offer relief from the heat. So again, Chief Cooley pretty much hit on most of the items about personal care doing that, but just remember that the personal care, right? Public safety is paramount to what we do here in the city, and I wanted to thank you in advance. One last piece, Alert Boston, please. All the citizens, even if you come into the city, please sign up for Alert Boston so you get real-time notifications about any street closings, any issues going on in the city. So please, Alert Boston. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor. I'm Yasser Franklin Hodge. I'm the Chief of Streets for the City of Boston. I'm happy to be here today. As others have said, a huge congratulations to the Celtics for their 18th NBA championship victory. I think the whole city is ready to celebrate with you. So to prepare for the parade, our streets team has been working closely with our public safety agency partners. The duck boats will be traveling through the heart of downtown and the Back Bay, and the needed closures will impact the entire area. Even streets not immediately near the parade route are likely to be affected. Traffic will be plentiful and parking will be scarce. So whether you are going to work or coming in for the parade, we cannot say this strongly enough, please take public transportation into Boston on Friday. Our partners at the MBTA will increase service to accommodate the expected high ridership. There will also be modifications in the commuter rail schedule with additional trains before and after the parade to make sure that everyone can get into the city and get back out in a timely fashion. For additional information on the MBTA schedule, you can check mbta.com/Celtics. Our Blue Bike system is also a great choice for getting around the city on Friday. You can learn more about passes and station locations at bluebikes.com. People biking should also be prepared for road closures and diversions around the parade route. Parking restrictions will be in place to keep the route clear beginning early Friday morning at midnight. Our BTD towing team will begin removing cars from the street at midnight so public safety officials can secure the route. This will include some streets that are not directly on the parade route, but that are nearby. So we ask that everybody please pay very close attention to all posted signs and follow all of those restrictions that are being put in place. You can find a complete listing of all of the impacted streets at boston.gov/Celtics-parade. Lastly, I just want to say thank you to all the street staff for helping to support this celebration. From our BTD teams working to post and enforce parking restrictions, to our public works teams who are ready to clean up the confetti and get the streets back open, the city could not hold these large celebrations without the hard work and dedication of these folks. We're looking forward to a great day for our city and our region, and remember, take the T. Thank you.
Yes, take the T. That's Congratulations to the Celtics and to the whole state of Massachusetts and city of Boston. So good afternoon. As the general manager of the MBTA, aside from the importance of providing safe and reliable service every day, it's moments like these that we at the MBTA embrace with pride in support of this momentous occasion as we celebrate the Celtics' historic 18th NBA championship, the most of any franchise. In just over a year, I've witnessed an MBTA workforce that is dedicated, and as a result of their efforts to date, able to stand here today and say that we're better prepared for this exciting event than we would have been just a year ago. First and foremost, I want to assure the public that the MBTA is fully committed to providing safe, reliable, convenient public transportation services to all those attending the Victory Parade on Friday. On the subway, there are no planned closures, and we will be operating essentially peak service from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to ensure trains can run more frequently on green, orange, red, and blue lines to better accommodate the anticipated ridership. That means 7 minutes on orange, that means 6 minutes on red, 5 minutes on blue, and 3 minutes on green. We anticipate that we'll be able to maintain those levels of frequency through the day. This will be all hands on deck with staff deployed throughout the system to assist riders with safety, wayfinding, and fare purchases. However, I must emphasize the importance of planning ahead and purchasing round-trip fares in advance to avoid long lines at the fare vending machines. And for those utilizing our commuter rail services, we have modified our weekday schedules to include additional trains before and after the parade. Passengers may be directed to queue at certain downtown stations for their safety and prevent overcrowding. But passengers should also listen to on-site personnel. Feel free to ask questions. We're ready to help you get to where you need to go. And I urge all commuter rail passengers to stay informed by checking our alerts on the MBTA website and social media channels to follow the instructions of our on-site staff as well. And while most of our bus routes will operate on their regular weekday schedules, some routes will have to be detoured to allow for the parade. And I encourage the bus riders to check T alerts for specific information on these detours. And to ensure the safety of everyone attending the parade, as always, our Transit Police Department will be present throughout the event. With large crowds expected, I want to remind everyone to prioritize their safety and follow the guidance of MBTA personnel. Our top priority is ensuring that everyone enjoys this memorable celebration safely. So in closing, I want to express my gratitude to the entire MBTA team for their tireless efforts in preparing for this event. For our management team, to our frontline workers, everyone has played a crucial role in making this possible. Let us come together as a community and celebrate the Celtics' remarkable achievement and showcase the pride and spirit of Boston. Congratulations again to the Celtics, and with that, I'll turn it over to Chief Green for a little bit on public safety regarding the T.
Thank you, Mr. GM. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank everyone for being here this afternoon to help us get our public safety message out to the public. So thank you for being here. In the last 22 plus years, we have managed numerous rolling rallies and victory parades. Needless to say, the transit police are well experienced and well prepared for the upcoming celebration of the Celtics championship win. If you are coming into the city of Boston to celebrate and witness the well-earned victory parade, take note, many streets in and around the area will be shut down. Therefore, I encourage everyone to utilize the MBTA transportation system as your means of travel. The transit police will have the maximum level of police officers, both uniformed and in plain clothes, deployed throughout the system to ensure a safe travel and safe commuting environment for all to enjoy. We ask our riders to please be respectful to one another and be especially mindful of those with young children, the elderly, and those with disabilities while using our system. Let's not stain the most special occasion with the conduct that does not align with the championship attitude and behavior of our beloved Boston Celtics. This is not our first time. I believe in 22 and a half years, I think it's the 12th rolling rally. So we're well experienced. We've been here many times, so let that show. That being said, alcohol consumption and/or unruly behavior on the MBTA will not be tolerated. Again, behave responsibly and respectfully. Currently, there are no known threats, credible or otherwise, for this event or to the MBTA. However, if you see something, please say something by contacting law enforcement immediately, and we will respond and investigate. Transit Police can be contacted at 617-222-1212. If you have a smartphone, please download the free CSA app that the MBTA provides for the riding public. This app allows you to send messages, videos, or photographs anonymously, if you choose, directly to Transit Police Operations monitors, where it's monitored 24/7. With all that being said, congratulations to the Boston Celtics, the city of Boston, and all the diehard Celtic fans everywhere. Let's end this season on a high note by having a safe and enjoyable championship parade. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me here. First of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Wu, the City of Boston, Commissioner Cox, BPD, for your amazing support throughout this playoff run. Everything from turning Canal Street into a pedestrian way so we could create that great atmosphere, to the watch parties, which were an incredible event if you got Game 3 and not Game 4, I guess. But you know, just the support the city has given us that'll continue through to the parade on Friday, which we are incredibly happy to be able to share with the city of Boston. You know, the Celtics exist for our fans. We are here for the city. We always say we're in the joy business, and we're going to get the opportunity to share some of that joy with our fans, you know, during the rolling rally on Friday. I hope it's a safe celebration for everyone. I know we've had a few of these, but it's the first in a while, and I think maybe the first post-pandemic, so I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for celebrating a sports team here in Boston, and we're happy to be first up to do that and share it with the city. And again, I'd like to thank everyone for their support throughout our playoff run, and I apologize for my hoarse voice as I left the TD Garden at 5:30 this morning. But it's been, we couldn't do it without everyone standing here with all of our public safety officials and the support of the mayor and our city. So I want to thank everyone for that, and look forward to a great celebration on Friday with all of you here. Thanks very much.
Okay, we can take a few questions.
Mayor, how many people realistically are you expecting to come into the city?
Yeah, we don't have numbers at this point. I mean, Pride Parade was 1 million. We expect well over 1 million people.
Well over 1 million, and I know there was a full call for police officers the other day. Are all officers going to be on staff at this parade?
As I said in the beginning, not only all our police officers, but also officers from other jurisdictions are helping us, including the state police. So we're fortunate here. We have a lot of good partnerships, and we need it for this amount. And one other note I wanted to make about, school's out, so we encourage parents to come with their young adults if they're going to come and celebrate in our city. It would be nice to parental involvement with all those young adults coming to have and celebrate.
Obviously, a lot of us have been connected. Planned the parade on Friday because of this heat wave. Can you talk a little bit about how you chose this day, what your concerns are about the weather, how you're going to keep everyone safe? You know, a lot of people packed into a very small place for a long time.
There was a tremendous amount of back and forth with the team and the city in the days leading up, with a lot of knocking on wood and a lot of crossing of fingers. But I am really thankful, because we know often what drives the schedule is the players they have pushed themselves beyond what is physically possible for most human beings, and they just want to have that time to be with their families and celebrate. And the fact that they've been willing to stay to allow us to get past this heat wave is another huge service for the city of Boston. So we're very thankful that that has been possible. It is the last half day for the Boston Public Schools as well, and so the timing made sense from a number of fronts, but we still do expect the weather to be quite hot. Chief, do you want to add more on that heat wave part?
Yeah, I know the city's been following, we're trying to see there's a possible break on Friday, which would be welcome, but also the event, where it is a rolling rally. Now, there may be some people want to camp out for a while, but the beauty of that, though, too, is you can, if you're working downtown, you want to come out, once it goes by, it's by. It's not a 3-hour parade. You're not participating in it. It's the people who are in it, it's mechanized. They're rolling. They're not marching. Public safety might be out there walking around. But as far as that goes, the whole event should probably take about 90 minutes from the time they start rolling till the time they end. And as it goes by fixed points, folks can go back about their business, go back inside, go in a store, cool off. And people can self-regulate on that, which is a good thing on this event.
What do we know about this 911 outage? Is it technical in nature, and realistically, what are we thinking in terms of when it may be running?
Yeah, so, as we're in here right now, so I don't know much about it. The system is fairly resilient. It's always been that way, and so we don't expect it to be long, but I can't give you details right now until we find out a little bit more. But it could be up right now as far as I know, but we'll get you that information as soon as we have it available.
Commissioner Cox, there has been information out there that there is an uptick in threats in the United States, not necessarily here. I'm curious as to how you're monitoring all of that and what that means for this parade.
Yeah, so again, law enforcement is lucky that we come together, so we have a lot of federal partners and partners in general to help us deal with the amount of threats that come from, not even locally, just worldwide, just to, verify that they're not legitimate or to vet them out. And so, we've been doing it for a while. We're not particularly concerned because there's, no threats that we are concerned about right now around that. But just the nature of the world in general, it's just a lot more stuff for us to get to, but we're fortunate we have a lot of good partners.
Last question. Someone can talk about the cumulative effects. A couple of you mentioned how there are cumulative effects. Can you explain what that means? Aside from Friday, is there more of a danger down the line than there is immediately today?
Yeah, real quick. Sure, so if today's day one, then can you suck up for a day or two? Maybe. I'm talking about even people who are in good health, relatively. Because usually we worry more about people with underlying medical conditions, people with other problems. But if you have 3, 4, 5, 6 days of regular heat, even other people can be impacted. So we just want people to think about it. People who may be out running, exercising, thinking, hey, I'm immune to this. No, you may not be if you're out constantly getting slowly dehydrated. So that's what I mean by cumulative. If it's several days in a row, it can be the great equalizer.
Mr. Hamilton, how many questions? Please directly to our press officer. Is there a concern about the tea running in the heat? Is there any mechanical issues that come up with that?
Okay, last one, just make sure he gets it.
We've done a lot of prep in advance of this heat wave, also for this event. All of our fleet has been re-inspected, all of the HVAC has been inspected, and a lot of maintenance has been done in advance to ensure on the day of the parade and through this heat wave, we have crews that are out and about and ready to respond should something occur. So we've done a lot of early preparation. We're confident that we'll be able to respond should something arise with a vehicle. But that's one of the things that we monitor with regards to that. All the employees, we're reminding them to stay hydrated because they're going to be out and about supporting this function. But otherwise, we're able to deliver this service that we're planning to do. And right now, I'm confident what the team has done to be ready.